Windows, and I'm making a video about this little device here. It's a Behringer D. I have a point to make with this. Here's what you do. You get your Behringer D from wherever it has it, because they're a little funny as far as who's carrying them and who's not. And then downgrade the firmware to version 1.0.3. Why? Because this is a Sonuus guitar to MIDI converter. As you can see, I'm wearing a guitar over this funny little camera. And if you have the guitar to MIDI converter, you can do this. Let's fool around with a little more of these devices here, like I've got the FM going on this, modulation depth, and oscillator 3 is the modulation. Oscillator 3 is under the control of the main oscillators, otherwise it sounds like this. But under control, it's make some funny R2-D2 noises here. But that's not necessarily the last of the trickery available here, because actually what I've got this doing is it's using the oscillator 3 for FM and the output. There's another level you can take this to, which might be interesting to guitar players and just people who are able to make notes of this nature. This is a sort of Walkman, and the Sonuus G2M is capable of playing from the guitar coming in here, and it has an output which goes in here. Technically, I can also plug the output into the external directly. If I do that, I get a sound, but it's not a very powerful sound. However, I can get the sound of whatever I'm plugging into this, and since it's coming straight off of the output here, I can make it be pretty much whatever I want. I could use the Walkman, or this is patched through so that both of the stereo channels are mixed together. But you'll notice it's going into the mixer, which is responding to the full synthesizer, including amplitude and the filter modulation. And of course, since you still have the oscillators because you're still converting things to MIDI, you get to have sort of best of all worlds here. I'll turn off the stereo chorus, which is in mono at the moment, and I'll tune a little bit, I think. It gets a little sloppy if you have more gain than you need, like humbucker pickup entirely. And let's give it a little more gain. And a little less of the guitar. Let's shut off this for the moment. Notice that it can kind of sort of do multiple strings, but that's all coming through here. Now you can do all of this, but again, if you're getting a new Behringer D, as I did, you need to downgrade the firmware to 1.0.3 because Behringer decided with firmware 0.5 that you should no longer be able to change the pitch bend away from, sometimes it's a full octave, sometimes it's, I think, plus a fifth and minus a fourth, something like that. But they decided, oh, we should have this have exactly the same pitch bend as the real Model D, which has been around for a very long time and does have limitations, although it doesn't have these switches. However, I think this is a foolish thing, and I really think that they should put back in the pitch bend at whatever cost, or at least allow this version 1.0.3 to be available so that you can give it a set of firmware that allows you to change the pitch bend range. And when you're allowed to change the pitch bend range, you have to set it to plus and minus 2, because that goes along with this little Sonuus. It's not a terribly expensive device, although, it's not as expensive as the Model D. And if you do that, and of course you have your glide control, and the glide control works with MIDI, so it works with the guitar. And since it's a Moog-ish, since it's Model D, you can tell it to be at a lower octave than the guitar. And if you're driving the guitar, I should put it back to the combined pickups. If you're driving the guitar at a higher octave than the synthesizer, it'll track better. And of course you can always do spacey weird things. You will, however, notice that if you're using 1.03, it does have that behavior of pitch bend not being tracked once the note ends. However, the thing about it is it seems to work pretty well with this. So, I don't know what to tell you. I think this one mostly just sends pitch bend while there's an active note. Let's put some of this craziness back to the original setting. And we'll plug in the external again. And as you can see, if you have the cutoff up, you're hearing the guitar again. Behringer put the pitch, bend, select back so that people can use these. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.